Hey everyone, it's Southern Book Canto. I have another book review for you today. I just finished Unhinged by Onley James. Sorry for the glare. And this is book 1 in the Necessary Evil series. So I'll preface this book by saying definitely look at your trigger warnings. They are right in the front of the book. Let me see. Yeah, so those are the triggers. I know some people say you really shouldn't say them on YouTube videos because you can get shadow banned for some reason. So those are the triggers that are in the book. It's a very dark, very heavy book, and it was hard for me to finish. Not in a I wasn't enjoying the story thing, but it was really dark material, really, really heavy. And I said in my review, not for the faint of heart. Just it was a lot. I will say my spice rating for the book was a 4 for strong sexual content. Nothing was too crazy. I didn't honestly enjoy reading the sex scenes for some reason. I didn't click with the characters, I guess. And my Goodreads rating was a 4 as well. So yeah, there were things I did like about this book. There were things I didn't. It had a really strong start for me. So I like the whole idea of the backstory. So in the, was it labeled a prologue? Yes, in the prologue, Dr. Thomas Thomas Mulvaney is kind of like a mad scientist. I watched Brandy Rants and Reads video, and she described the book sort of like a superhero story where you had like the X-Men and Dr. Xavier, I think. And I agree with that. It had that, in my opinion, like a DC comic nature. To me, Marvel comics are a little more lighthearted, and DC is very dark and grungy. And this really was like kind of like a DC comic storyline to me. It could have been set in Gotham City, for real. That was kind of enjoyable. But so Dr. Thomas Mulvaney is a billionaire or millionaire psychiatrist. And he has been adopting these young boys from the foster care system that he believes to be sociopaths. And he wants to take them in, one, to give them a home. He knows how to sort of understand and deal with some of their behavioral issues if they happen. And it seems that he wants to hone in on their instincts to hurt and kill. So he wants to sort of make them basically trained assassin vigilantes, which is a very interesting premise. I thought that was a cool idea, and it was unique. I hadn't read a story like that. And it jumps to the prologue having meet our hero, Adam. And now it's like 20 years later, and he's basically a trained vigilante serial killer. He only kills those that sort of escape the law. So he finds the ones that are lying between the cracks and catches these people and kills them. So basically he's taking out the riffraff that others wish they could, but they can't, or sort of thing. Although I don't wish to kill anyone, but you know what I mean. You get angry with people and things, and it happens. But yeah, very, very, very dark from the beginning. And we meet our second hero, Noah. This is an mmromance. I think I said that. And Noah has a gun pointed at Adam at the very beginning, and Adam's like nonchalant about it. He's basically like, I'm a serial killer. He ain't gonna scare me at all. And it turns out that Noah is the son of one of Adam's first kills. So yeah, lots of complications. And that was like the first 2 or 3 chapters of the book. And then it kind of got a little, I don't know how to describe it, but felt rushed. That's a good word. So to me, I would have liked the storyline better if there's a little more game of cat and mouse between Noah and Adam. I felt that Noah, even though Adam showed why he had to kill Adam showed Noah why he had to kill his father because of his heinous acts and crimes. I wouldn't think that he'd be jumping on him that soon. So that would felt really rushed. I don't know why they did that. I guess that was sort of the nature of the book. It wasn't an erotica, in my opinion. It was more so like a dark vigilante romance. But I felt that a lot of things were rushed. Like I said, I wanted there to be more of a game of cat and mouse between Noah and Adam. And I kind of got like this Batman and Robin vibe from them, but that wasn't really formulated throughout the storyline, and it wasn't really projected. It just became Noah being kind of clingy, in my opinion, and wanting to really join in on the fun with Adam and his other brothers, who are also trained vigilante serial killers, to partake in shenanigans. But it didn't have enough for me. So I felt like the two heroes lacked chemistry, and I felt that they were really rushed into the romance. You know, to me, a romance doesn't have to have a strong wabam. You know, I kind of like the drawn out tension. Like, I know it's not really at all related, but think of like Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Yeah, Charlotte Bronte. I thought it was Emily for a second, but I was like, no. Charlotte Bronte. And there's so much tension between Mr. Rochester and Jane. And like, if you've seen the movie by, I can't think of his name, like not Cary Watanabe, but I think his name's Cary, and I think he just directed the new James Bond movie. But it has Michael Fassbender as Rochester and Mia Wasikowska as Jane in Jane Eyre. And so much tension. I mean, the scene where he's like, there's a fire in her room from the madwoman in the attic, and he's like putting out the fire, and he's in his nightshirt, and she's in her nightgown, and it's just like, oh, they saw each other, like almost naked. You know, that tension's really, it can be fun as a reader to have that, and as a watcher, you know, things. But to me, it just felt rushed. I feel like 100 times, but yeah, I wanted there to be more of this cat and mouse, almost like I'll go back to DC symbols, like Batman and Catwoman, you know, always this game of cat and mouse. You're right here, I'll give you a kiss on the cheek, and then I'll cut your cheek and go, sort of thing with Catwoman. That would have been really good. But it was just sort of like Noah was clingy, in my opinion, and Adam, I mean, surprise, surprise, he couldn't feel anything emotionally. But I don't want to give away the ending, but it's kind of an HEA, so, you know, love conquers all. But, yeah, there's more books in the series. Am I interested in reading more? Possibly. I won't say never, because I did like a few things about this. And I know as a reader, it can be hard if you didn't love the first book to continue on with more. But I see a lot of promise with the series, and I'm not one for world building, but I wouldn't mind more of this sort of world building and having Dr. Thomas have a more prominent role. And there's another character in here. I don't think her name was Bailey. Bailey was like the friend of Noah, but does it say? I don't want to take forever just looking up the book. But Adam has like basically like a Barbara Gordon helper, or like a technical person that like sends him all the links, and she's kind of in on the crime, so to speak. So that was kind of cool. I would like to read her romance, but I think this whole series is MM, which I'm not the biggest fan of romances. It just depends on the book. I really liked the dark nature in the book, but I didn't at the same time. I probably would have liked this more if it was a female heroine, because one of my favorite all-time literary characters is Lisbeth Salander from The Girl. I think the series is called The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, I think. But the first one is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Played with Fire, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, and then there's some more after Stieg Larsson passed away. But like, I love Lisbeth Salander. I liked I've seen the original with Numi Rapace, and then I love the Rooney Mara one, and I like the Claire Foy one as well. And they're supposed to be doing a reboot series on Amazon, so that should be awesome because I just love Lisbeth Salander. And she's really similar, in my opinion, to Adam, where they're both kind of dissociated from society. I know Mikhail Blomkvist kind of describes Lisbeth as a sociopath, and maybe she might have some sort of autism, but that's sort of her character. And then Adam is basically, I mean, pronounced a sociopath by his adopted father because he's trained psychologist. So I would assume he would know what the key details are for that. But yeah, I would have liked it more with a female lead. I just like strong female lead characters in my books and my movies. I might be a misandrous, I don't know. But I did like this. But it was hard to finish. And I'm not gonna lie, I read this very quickly. I'm a fast reader, but I read this book in a whole day because the nature of it was tough. And I thought, I want to get through with this one. I paid for it, so I want to get my money's worth. And it's not very long. It was 293 pages for the physical copy. And you can get it cheaper on ebook. I think this was like $14 or $15, and then it's like $4 on Kindle for your Kindle or however else you could get it. I usually buy my books on Amazon because I live in a rural area, so it's a lot easier to just get things shipped to my house. But yeah, I liked a lot of things that Onley James did with this work, and I'm not writing it off. I would probably read more. It wasn't a 5-star for me, but that was mostly because of the romantic nature of the story. I just felt things were rushed and lacked chemistry because I felt like Noah just sort of jumped into this idea with Adam, and then things kind of worked out surprisingly well. Which, I don't know, with this book, I love an HEA. I mean, that's why I read romances, but I wouldn't have minded, like, this is a series with the same heroes and other heroes. And yeah, this could have been good if it had just more angst and push and pull. Like, when I think of superhero movies, like the ones that I grew up with, like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and some of the Batmans, I just think of like the Mary Jane archetype where she's saved, she gets like a kiss from the hero, and then she's like in this longing to meet him again. And I just felt like things were too rushed. I would have liked a little more game of cat and mouse. But overall, it was a good book. It wasn't my favorite, and I've gone into that, but I don't think it's impossible to get through. I mean, like I said, read those triggers because they are heavy. This, I'm not a normal person of dark romance, but I've read like the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, and I mean, if you've watched Law and Order SVU, you've been aware of some of this things that happen in this book. But yeah, this was my review of Unhinged by Onley James. I would like to look at some more books by Onley James as well. I do think most of her novels are or they're young adult, which I don't really read young adult works. I didn't like to read them when I was a young adult, so I don't really read them now. But yes, I liked the book very much. 4 stars. I like the cover. I don't know why the butterfly to me reminded me of Harry Styles. Does he have a butterfly? I don't know. But also another thing, he has all these tattoos where there's no history behind the tattoos or the meaning behind them. I would have liked that more because, you know, that's part of the mystique of Lisbeth Salander's The Dragon Tattoo. So it's like, why is there a butterfly and why is there a snake? And yeah, and I would have liked more of the doctor's point of view. There's a lot more world building I would have liked for this book and hopefully the series. So if you've read more in the series, let me know if there's more world building or if it's just sort of like one hero and another hero, one and done romance sort of thing with dark material. Because I'd rather have more building. Because I liked a lot of the plot and the growth, and I just wanted there to be more growth and more angst. But yeah, I think I've said all I could say. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, as well as comment. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Southern Bel Canto. And I'm also on Goodreads, and I think it's Albie and then Southern Bel Canto. So I don't know how to link my Goodreads. I might have to get on my computer to do that on my YouTube videos. But yeah, let me know what you're reading currently. This is my third book of the year, so I'm 10% done with my goal of 30 books for the year. So that's kind of exciting. I'm reading. I've always been a really avid reader, but ever since I started my YouTube channel, it's really pushed me to not take breaks, which I like, but it can get hectic. But I've enjoyed the challenge, and this book was definitely out of my comfort zone, which is what I wanted. I purposely bought this because I knew it would kind of push me a little bit, and I wanted to kind of grow in the romance genre. I didn't want to just read my historicals or contemporary, you know, kind of fluffies. I wanted to get something a little dark, and it was dark. It was a lot darker than like The Bastard's Betrayal. So yeah, hopefully I'll get something a little less graphic and hard to read. But yeah, I think I have like 2 books I brought with me. I'm still snowed in, sort of. So hopefully all is well. Hopefully y'all are doing well too. And I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.